Hello students. In this video, we will read about Chapter 7, Glimpses of India, Class 10 English book, First Flight. Here I am going to explain the summary of this chapter, Glimpses of India. This chapter consists of three parts. First one, A Baker from Goa by Lucio Rodrigues. Second one, Coorg by Lokesh Abrol. And the third one, Tea from Assam by Arup Kumar Datta. So these three are from different parts of India. So the first part, A Baker from Goa, is a pen portrait of a traditional Goan village baker who still has an important place in his society. Goa is the place which has the varied culture of French, English and Portuguese. Here in this lesson, the descriptions of the village hacker reminds us of the Portuguese days. Bread making started from the Portuguese days. They used to love bread like anything. Bread making was an art. Molding and then making, mixing and then baking. So in Goa, the culture of bread making has been brought by Portuguese during their rule on Goa, which is still exist in Goa as a family profession even after the Portuguese left. They are known as the padder. So now here the narrator is traveling through the memory lane thinking about the loaves of breads. The author used to become very much excited when he used to see the breads. The baker used to deliver every twice a day, once in the morning during his selling goods, and then again while returning after selling all of his breads. The arrival of the baker was so special, he made his musical entry with the jang jang sound of his specially made bamboo stick. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. The children used to run to meet him for bread bangles without brushing their teeth or without washing their mouth properly. Then they used to choose very carefully. The baker who visited the narrator's place was like a friend, companion and guide. Every day the narrators and his friends used to wake up by his voice. It was the maid servant of the house who collected the loaves while children sorted out the bread bangles for themselves. Bakery products have importance in the culture and traditions of Goa. Bowl or sweet bread is a part of marriage gifts. Cakes and bolin hans or the coconut cookies are eaten at every festivals, and the lady of the home prepares sandwiches at her daughter's engagement. Earlier, bakers used to wear a unique frock of knee length known as the kabai. But during the narrator's childhood days, they wore a shirt and trousers of length slightly shorter than the usual ones. Generally, bakers wearing this traditional dress used to collect his bills at the end of the month. In the household, the baker's monthly accounts used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. The bakers used to be well off. Their families never starved. Their plump body showed that they are. Okay, so this was the first part, A Baker from Goa. And now we are going to start the second part, Coorg by Lokesh Abrol. Before I start the chapter, I will give some introduction of the chapter. Coorg is the name of a hill station in Karnataka state. Coorg is famous for its coffee plantation, rainforest and spices which we used for cooking. Now let us go in details. Coorg, a very beautiful place. Coorg is a small village in Karnataka. It is a very beautiful place and looks like heaven. It looks like a kingdom of Goa. We can find many different kinds of animals there. It is full of evergreen forest, spices and coffee plantation. It rains very heavily during rainy season there. The people of Coorg are the descendants of Greek. There is a story about its people that a group of Alexander's soldiers stopped and settled there and expanded their families by marrying the locals. According to other belief, the people of Coorg are the descendant of Arabs also, as their dress resembles the kufiya worn by the Arabs. Kufiya is a long black coat with embroidered vest belt worn by the people of Coorg, which is very much similar to kufiya worn by the Arabs. The Coorg have a tradition of hospitality. They have many stories of bravery. In fact, they are also very brave. The first army chief was a Coorgi. Even today, Kudavas are the only people in India who carry firearms without a license. Kudavas is another name of a Coorg. They only carries the firearms without a license. Coorg regiment is one of the most respected regiment and also famous for their bravery. The Kaveri river flows in the hills and the forest in Coorg. All kinds of aquatic land animals and birds like fish, kingfisher, squirrels, langur, elephant, many other arboreal animals live here fearlessly in the dense forest. Thus, we find its surroundings are very pretty and attractive. The Brahmagiri hills give the climber a whole view of Coorg. There we can see a rope bridge to the 64-acre island of Nishadgram. India's largest Tibetan colony is also there. The Buddhist monks also live there. At last, we can say that we can get the heart and soul of India in Coorg. So, this was the second part. And now, the third part of the story is Tea from Assam. Tea from Assam is an interesting and information lesson about the tea plantation, its history and its significance. The writer had tried to make it interesting by using a dialogue method. Two young boys, Pranjal and Rajveer, are going to Assam. They both are friends and they studied in Delhi. Pranjal is from Assam. His father is a manager of a tea garden there. Pranjal invites Rajiv to his hometown for summer vacation. They start their journey in a train. On a station, a tea vendor called Chai, Garam Chai Lelo, Garam Chai Lelo. This way the vendor was calling, and they both take tea over there. Rajvi tells Pranjal that over 80 crore cups of tea are set in the world. Then again, they started their journey through train. While train was moving, they were enjoying a beautiful sights of Assam. Hills were looking very attractive. Tea garden were spread all around. In the distance, there was an ugly building, and it was a tea garden. Rajbir is very much excited as he passes through a tea garden and wants to share his knowledge with Pranjal. They talk about various Indian and Chinese legend behind tea. Rajbir tells Pranjal a very interesting story of a Chinese emperor who discovered tea by chance. That Chinese emperor, he used to boil water before drinking it. One day, a few leaves of some twigs burning under the pot fell into the water, giving it a delicious flavor. It is said that they were tea leaves. According to another legend, there was an ancient Buddhist ascetic. When he was meditating, he felt asleep. So he cut off his eyelids and threw on the ground. Then 10 tea plants grow out of his eyelids. When their leaves were put into the hot water, it vanished sleep. After this, Rajvi told Pranjal that tea was first drunk in China. It was about 2700 BC. Words like chai and chini are from China. Tea reached to Europe in the 16th century. At that time, tea was taken as medicine. Now the train reached Marine Junction, which was their destination. Pranjal's parents received them and then started for their home. Their house was at Dekaibari. The tea bushes were on both sides of the road, where women were plucking the new leaves from them. While going, Pranjal's father appreciated Rajvi's knowledge about tea. Rajvi told Pranjal's father that May to July are the best months for tea plantation. Pranjal's father, he was very much excited. He praised a lot of his knowledge. At this, Rajvi told him that now he could learn more in his company. So, this was the explanation of the chapter Glimpses of India. I hope it will be helpful for you all.